Hey Roto Grip fans, Mark Buffa here. Welcome to our Tuesday unboxing, and today we've got some brand new pieces here from Roto Grip, and we've got our great friends on the line, Doene, Moos, and Chris Schlemer with us. Guys, welcome on the call.
Hey, thanks for having us.
All right, guys, so we've got these two new balls here, and these build on the success of, previous balls. So, Chris, which one do you want to start out with?
Oh, I don't know. Is there like a third option? Is there like door number 3?
No, there's only door 1, door 2.
Might as well just start with Winter Solid.
Okay.
Let's go HP2 and then HP13.
Sounds good. Okay, so we've got here the Winter Solid. Let's check this bad boy out. So as we see here on the box, we've got a VTC S18 solid reactive, and Chris will talk a little bit about that later when I pop this thing out of the box. The hotshot core, altered hotshot core, and this ball here is finished at 3000 Abralon, 254 RG, and 054 diff on the 15-pounder. Let's check this bad boy out here. Pretty cool looking colors here. All right, Chris, so let's talk a little bit about performance on this bad boy. What's the difference between this and the original Winter that was unveiled at Bowl Expo?
So the big difference is, well, as you know, the Ultra Hotshot core is the same. But the big thing was we needed a solid cover stock. We had the show off in the HP2 line before, which was a lot of cover because it was our nano cover. The big thing on the cover was we've got these formulations of different solids. That's something I worked with Hank on R&D lab as far as creating different solids and pearls based on a line. So HP2, HP1 will have a VTC, which stands for Versatile Traction Control. And that formulation creates a good solid footprint, but it's not super aggressive and super early. So it still gives you push through the front part of the lane, but sees friction really well. And that's something we haven't had in those low-end balls for a while in solids.
Have you guys seen this go down the lane? And like I was talking with you earlier off camera, Chris, about you being in Japan and you didn't have a chance to see these go down the lane. But did the pros have a chance to throw this at the U.S. Open at all?
No, they were not.
Okay.
We did not have them legal there. But I did actually see one in competition Saturday night. I was hanging out with some friends watching a bowl league, and the pro shop there actually sold his all-star program ball. And the guy that bought it only averages like 185. And he came up and talked to me after the fact because he buys a lot of Storm Roto Grip balls. And he's like, man, I hope I didn't embarrass you throwing this ball. But his last game, he actually had the front 6. And he ended up shooting 258, which is a high game for him. He's still kind of that. He's only been bowling like 2 years. But once he got it dialed in and moved a little bit right, it was better for him.
Awesome.
So
cool. All right, so let's move on to the next piece of the puzzle, and I think this is the ball that's been creating the most hype with the Idol Pearl. So the original Idol was, awesome piece of equipment built off the success of the Haywire. And, I was watching the World Cup last week, and all you saw go down the lane was, these magenta, pink, purple balls or whatever color it is. And, it just stands out and looks great. And basically you're building on the success of the original Idol. So let's pop this thing out of the box here. And to be honest with you guys, we had a bunch of people come in to pick up some orders here. And they were like, do you have any Idol pearls? I want to see it. I want to see what it looks like. So everybody's getting all giddy about this. And
good deal.
Like you say in the video, there is some like purple hue in the bottom of the pearl agent in the light blue that you can't really see on camera. I'm trying to show
Correct.
You guys as best as I can, but you really don't see it. But you
have to see it in person.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was just because I actually used purple mica in that lighter blue side. So it gives you that kind of translucent look.
Awesome. All right, so let's focus on, let's talk to Doene a little bit about this. So Doene, you've been doing matchmakers pretty much all year. And tell us a little bit what people like about, the original Idol and maybe what they can expect out of the new Idol Pearl.
Well, I've actually added that into my set about 2 weeks ago. And there's definitely a difference in separation between the two balls. The idle itself is more of a smoother motion off the back end. It definitely has a little bit of kick, but the idle pearl is very clean to the front, recovers really strong in the back part of the lane. And actually, since adding that into my set, that's been the #1 ball choice as far as each one of the matchmakers that we've done. We've done so far 6 different centers and had multiple types of conditions and surfaces to play on. And that ball always seems to be leading the pack as far as the ball being used, the ball in high demand. Pro shops have taken a lot of early orders for the bowling ball. The performance on it is beyond outstanding. It's an exceptional piece of equipment.
Chris, what would be like a good replace? Like, how would this fit in the line? Would this kind of like replace a little bit? Let's say someone's got like a Marvel Pearl in their line, or maybe something like an original Daredevil. Where does this fit compared to like those two balls that I just mentioned?
This ball is actually stronger than both of those. I think the best comparison we have so far is from Staffers compared to a Sonic. In comparison, everything we've been told so far is that it is 4 to 7 boards stronger than the Sonic. Actually, I had a pro shop in Ohio sent me some video the other day. He's like, "Hey man, I just drilled my All-Star Pearl. Well, this guy's got a Sonic that he really likes, and it was 7 boards stronger than a Sonic. Drilled the exact same way." So, yeah, there's that. It's a strong symmetrical pearl that's, I think, by far the strongest symmetrical pearl we've had on the Roto Grip side ever.
All right, guys. So good skid flip ball motion out of the idle pearl.
Mm-hmm.
Good all-purpose, all-around good ball reaction for control purposes on the winner solid.
And Mark, I wanted to touch on winner solid again. The big thing too, and I think what pro shops need to be aware of, is even though it's 3,000 on the box, there's a very high RA value underneath that. And that was one of the things Hank and I spent a lot of time. Actually, I was on the road this summer doing trade shows and tour up on a ladies tour. And him and I had a call one day for about an hour and a half discussing this ball in particular, trying to get the cup dialed in, and we did a bunch of testing. And we came up with the process underneath to make sure that the 3000 wasn't too smooth and appeared too weak. And I think that's the big thing. Like I said, the guy I was watching the other night, yeah, even though he had to go a little bit straighter, there's still plenty of traction and change direction down lane. So there's something to the finish process of, most people go, oh, it's 3000, so it's going to be super clean and maybe a little get up on top of the oil. Not the case with this ball. The 3000 helps get through the front, but there's plenty of traction and change direction down lane.
Would this be like a little bit like a Velator block, or would this be something that, let's say, the high rev guys would use on, a little bit more of a beat up surface, or like where do you see this play in the line, and where do you see some of your pro staff using this ball?
I think that, like you mentioned, the high rev guys, this ball is actually kind of close to probably like an IQ Tour. The Idol is a much stronger version of IQ Tour. This ball is actually probably a step off of an IQ Tour. So some of the high rev guys, based on the lane surface, they may be used on the immediate fraction and get it to bounce off friction. But if not, it's going to be an ideal ball to transition to later on. If you're using a solid, say you're using like Codex or, like I mentioned, IQ Tour or something on an Idol, this will be a ball that if the heads start to go, you can get that through the front and get the shape the right way. And for those other bowlers, like I said, the guy the other night who's 185, which is a typical customer when you're walking into your pro shop on a bowl ball. You can drill a little bit more aggressive, but it's still going to let them kind of close your ankles down a little bit, but still see the mid lane, the back part of the lane really well.
So again, everyone, if you like what we're doing, make sure to hit the subscribe button. If you love this video, give us a nice little thumbs up. Make sure to check out the Roto Grip fan page, the Roto Schlem. Is it Roto _ Schlem? What is it on Instagram?
Same thing, Roto Schlem.
Roto Schlem.
I've got Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. One thing out there too I want to throw out is Roto Grip Women. And that's what we've got on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
So Mark Buffa signing off with Chris Schlemer and Doene Moos.
Roto up!
Make sure you own it. #own it. We'll see you guys in the next one.